guys, so today I want to do my bump update. I haven't done this in forever, since week 25. I remember I was on a roll and I could have filmed week 26 and then I put it off, and of course once you put one up, they all get put off. So I am actually in week 32 right now, and I only have a couple days until I'm in week 33. So basically, since I did this once again, I'm going to just try and group things together from my memory. One thing that I started to notice around week 26, 27, 28, and I still notice it, but not quite as badly, but especially during those weeks, I don't know what was happening, is my hair was super duper frizzy all throughout those weeks, and it's tamed down a little bit, gone back to being not as frizzy, but it's actually doing the opposite, and it's gone quite oily. So maybe that's what's helping the frizz, is all the oil. But my hair is growing really, really long. I don't know, I feel like it's growing at least. I feel like it looks quite long, and I love it. I do think it's a little bit thin because obviously it's been growing out and I haven't really trimmed and kept up with it. Like I said, you can see that it's still a little bit frizzy. I feel like my skin also looks really, really good over the past few weeks. I was using a new cleanser over weeks 28 through 30, and I did have quite a few like breakouts, but only tiny ones. But I don't know if it was the new cleanser that I was trying or the fact that I had to change up my diet, which I will talk about in a second. But I feel like once again my skin has come around and it's looking quite clear. I do have some scarring, but other than that I don't have anything, which is amazing, and I hope it continues to clear up, and I hope my skin continues to heal itself. And I'm worried that after pregnancy maybe my skin will freak out and break out again, but I'm hoping not. I mean, I've had bad weeks and good weeks, but the majority of this pregnancy I've had really, really good skin. I feel like it finally gave my skin a chance to heal on my neck, where I had some really obvious scars and they looked really ugly and horrible, and I mean they're still there, but they're going away finally. So also I noticed that I developed some pains in my lower pelvic area and sometimes in my ribs as well, and this was especially around week 28 to 31. I don't feel it in my ribs as often right now. Right now, as I say that, I touched my rib and she kicked me in the rib. Yes, Kira, thank you for kicking mommy in the rib while I'm talking about you. I don't feel it as often in the ribs right now, unless she's, like, for example, in my rib area kicking me or squirming around. But I do feel it quite often in my pelvic area still. But when I went to the doctor, they said it was probably round ligament pain. But I have noticed that it will happen more often at work than any other place. It's just when I walk around a lot at work and when I'm standing on my feet. So I always have to just take a moment and catch my breath, and then sometimes I have to hold it for like a minute, you know, like practice my breathing, make sure that I'm taking big deep breaths, and then I feel a lot better. So another thing I've noticed when I talk to that has been pregnant or is pregnant, say they're so uncomfortable in bed, and that's not the case for me. I was always more of an insomniac before I got pregnant, and she has helped me sleep a lot better. I don't know why I keep on hiccuping and burping. Excuse me. That's one thing. I have really bad indigestion, but I'll talk about that in a second. But she has helped me sleep so much better than I did before, and I don't know if it's because she regulated my hormones and stuff like that, and that's why my skin is better. Now, as soon as I hit the pillow, I will try and, you know, do what I usually do, which is watch YouTube. I always used to, like, watch YouTube, and now I can watch YouTube, maybe like 1 or 2 videos, and then I'm like, oh gosh, I'm falling asleep to this. I'll catch myself falling asleep. And that never used to happen. I used to like watch an hour or 2 on YouTube because I would never be able to fall asleep, and I would lay there in bed and I would be on my phone, and I know that's really bad. So I also mentioned briefly that I've been getting heartburn and indigestion, and it doesn't really matter what I eat, anything can just set it off, which is quite unfortunate, but it is mainly at night, and I sometimes still get nauseous during the day, so I'll have heartburn at night, and then I'll wake up and I'll have, you know, a little bit of morning sickness, but it's nothing too bad or too horrible. And the other day I did get another one of my massive headaches that I always used to get, but again, it's not something that is too horrible. I just try my hardest to drink water and just suffer through it. And yeah, that's why I'm burping and hiccuping, and I know it's gross, but hey, apparently, well, a lot of people say it's because when your baby's growing hair on their head, you get heartburn and indigestion. I wanted to mention diet, and I also wanted to mention her movements, so I'm trying to just like remember everything, so I'll talk about quickly her movements. So she has been moving so much, and I can often see my stomach go up and down, kind of like a bowl of jello, and I can actually see it move with her, and if she shifts, I'll see like my stomach shift one way or the other. And if she's like leaning more on one side, I can see that definitely. Yeah, she's getting a lot more active over the past few weeks. I would say from week 29 up until now, she has been super duper active, and I have noticed that she's been active at certain times of the day, mainly when I eat, when I get up in the morning, right before I go to bed at night, around 10:30 at night. And when I'm bathing or showering, I've noticed those are the most times that she is active, and she is very active, so I'm very thankful for that. It is a good sign. But basically, for my diet, I was vegetarian before I got pregnant, and I definitely think that had a major part to do with me getting pregnant, because it regulated my hormones and everything like that. And I would definitely recommend becoming vegetarian, especially if you're having hormonal problems and if you're having problems getting pregnant. I also took some vitamins, not pills from the doctor or anything, but I was taking vitamin supplements to help me regulate my hormones to get pregnant, and I can talk about that in a different video if you want me to, because I know a lot of people suffer from not being able to get pregnant. But I went to my doctor for my diabetes checkup, which, if you're not pregnant and if you don't know, basically when you're pregnant, they test you around, I think it was week 31, or was it 30 or 31? I can't remember now, but it was around that time. I think it was week 30 that I got tested, and they test you for diabetes when you're pregnant, because your body's a little bit different, and you can get diabetes a lot more easily, but it's only during your pregnancy, and then it will go away after your pregnancy. But I failed my diabetes test, and they got on to me saying I was eating too many carbs and too much sugar, even natural sugar, which I eat a lot of fruit. And they also got on to me about the fact that I wasn't eating enough meat, because I would only eat meat maybe once or twice a week. I don't want to get into the topic of whether meat is good or bad, because honestly there's too many people that are pro-meat and there are so many people that are anti-meat. That's probably a topic for another video if you guys ever want to talk about that. But anyway, they got on to me because, you know, obviously most people eat a lot of meat, and they were saying that protein. After I failed the diabetes test, which I was really scared that week, and they had me test myself all week, test my blood sugar. So I had to test myself 5 times a day, and I had to prick myself with that blood scanner to test my blood sugar after I ate my meals and see what spiked me and see if I was actually diabetic. So I brought in my results from that week and showed them what happened all throughout the week whenever I tested my blood sugar. And they also had tested my blood, so they had drawn blood from me. I forgot to mention this, but they had drawn blood from me the first time I had went in and failed my diabetes test. So they had the results back that week when I went back with my paperwork saying what I had eaten and my blood sugar levels all throughout that week. So they said, based on my blood results that they had taken, I was completely normal. I didn't have diabetes, but based on the chart that I had written everything down, I probably had a glucose intolerance, which my sister also was told, so it was kind of interesting. It probably just runs in our family, and that probably explains some of the stuff, why I have acne and stuff like that, and why I feel like I can't eat certain foods without it affecting me. So based on the fact that they said that I could probably have a glucose intolerance, I just have to be very careful not to eat too much sugar, even natural sugar, because it can lead to diabetes if I'm not careful. But I've been trying to be very good. I only allow myself to have 1 treat a day, and I've just been eating lots and lots of salads, and I still don't eat a lot of meat. I only eat 1 small piece of meat a day, and that's enough for me, because personally I do start to feel nauseous and really sick when I eat a lot of meat. And when I say a lot of meat, it's probably normal amounts of meat for most people, but when I eat normal amounts of meat, my stomach gets very upset, so I eat a very small piece of meat. So I just try and incorporate little stuff in there where I know I'm going to get lots of protein, and trying to incorporate pieces of their diet and my diet, and just trying to be good and eat lots of salads and stuff like that. Oh, lastly, really quickly, I just wanted to talk about my last ultrasound appointment that I had, because I won't have any more ultrasounds. I had my last one at 32 weeks, and here is her pictures. I especially love this one because it just shows off her beautiful face. And she always is sleeping when we have the ultrasounds, because I guess that time of day she is not awake. But she was laying on her arm, and when the lady was moving the ultrasound thing around, she kept on nudging her a little bit. So I think she was like, get off of me, but I can't wait to see her in person. And like I said, it will be about 7 weeks from now, so definitely very exciting. And this was October 31st that we got to see her. This little picture looks like she's wearing a Halloween costume. I don't know if you can see that, but yeah, we got to see her on the 31st of October, and I just think she already looks so beautiful.